have a song stuck in my head today. Figures. Typical. I didn't stream yesterday. I'm making sure that this goes live before I say anything. There we go. Okay. We have to do streaming announcements because I can't do them automatically. If you're an officer in BBC, BMW, Spicy, DDA, and Warhamster, if you have access to putting people in the automatic bot portion, then I would appreciate it because it's less work for me. If I have to not do this by hand, it would be really nice. So far, the only one who's done that for me has been AUT, Angry Unicorns, who are lovely humans. All right, so there we go. So today is going to be a combination of things, but first of all, I want to thank Tansy Uduri, Kimmy My XOXO, Serafi Viewdang, and Arcadia Farm for the follows. I believe I know what that's all about. I have a feeling that they very kindly followed me after I looked at Viewdang's guild house, and I had a little more explanation from them about what that's all about. And it turns out that they are a guild. They are a housing guild. Housing's Finest Builders Guild. And the portals in the Halls of Colossus that we looked at were actually from some of their members, which means that, because I noticed that Greek Vamp was in that group, it means that Greek Vamp is one of their members, and he is perhaps the best builder on the server. So that's kind of cool. And I figured, if nothing else, I'm going to leave those lights there, that we might go back and take a look at a couple more. I've looked at a lot of, those types of guilds, but I didn't know about this one. So what I just did is I picked up a whole bunch of stuff that I had sitting in here in storage because I have an idea for what to do with, oh, hold on, let me make sure this isn't, okay. I have an idea of what to do with, good morning, Cromwell, with my Kragenhome, because we have that contest coming up, and I wanted to do something for it. And originally I was going to just do a basic kind of build in there because I wanted to show people how to do a basic build, but I ended up doing my basic build in the Lion's Den instead. So I think I'm going to go with something different that I haven't seen anyone do before. An idea that just came to me. Okay, so first rando, and then we will move on from there. But yeah, I like my daily randos. It's a good way to meet new people. Like this one introduced me to a whole new guild. So let's go to Elephonics Twin Arches. That's a small one, but I looked at one of Elephonics' homes yesterday and was really impressed. What was it? Sleek Creek. I saw that they had a really nice Sleek Creek, so I am looking forward to seeing this. And I have to add Delphinia to something. Altalafi, Delphinia. Okay, so we're going to look at a couple of things today, and then we're possibly going to do some building. Sign in. If any of you don't know what that's all about, that sign in, it's Essential Housing Tools has it so that you can sign into people's homes who have submitted themselves to the community so that they know who's visited and they feel loved. And that is a good reason to get it, if only that. So this is what I'm talking about with a standard home build. If you're just looking for how to get started, honestly, think about your own home and what you would like. This is an additional wall. This wall isn't normally here, but it looks like they just used, these are like 100 gold a piece blocks, and they built them into a sort of wall and then used the Kajiti curtain to finish the rest. And they have their puppy in here, and Twin Arches has just a gorgeous view. It really does. During the day especially, you can appreciate these mountains. It's just lovely. When you first walk in, you get this, if you don't have a camo, you get a very pretty view. So I like it during the day. It's lovely. So that was Elephonic, and a very small house. So, you know, the amount of time I spend on it does not mean that it isn't any good. It just means I didn't spend a lot of time on it. So we're going to go back to Viewdang and walk through there real quick. Well, my Twin Arches looks not as finished. I don't even have the slots for. I know, Sisyphus. By the way, what's your, are you on NA? If so, can you tell me your user? Because I tried to send you something and it didn't work. Yeah, I agree with you. I had trouble filling out my, my Twin Arches without running out of spots. What I did, oh, you're on EU? Okay. What I did with Twin Arches is originally I had it be an assassin's house. So I had all the Dark Brotherhood stuff. And then I got sick of the build and killed it. Which is something I do not advocate you do. Because I learned since then. Hey, Zerbit. Nice to see you. We are going to go check out a home that I did look at the other day, but this is Viewdang, who is the GM of a housing guild, and they told me that all of the portals in the house actually goes to their members' homes. So I didn't realize that. And one of them is Greek Vamp. I don't recall who the other ones were. Hey, Funky. So I figured we could take a look at some of them and see how that works out. Oh, I look terrible today. I apologize. Oh my goodness. I look really bad. This sweater isn't doing me any favors. It's a little unflattering. Okay, so here we go. They said this first entry in the halls of the Colossus are actually, these are for one contest or something. I'm not sure. So we'll look. But it's nice to see other housing guilds. Housing's finest builders, I think it is. Okay, yeah. Here's Greek Vamp, who's amazing. I don't know that I've actually seen their Moon Sugar yet. I think somebody told me I should, but I hadn't yet. Old Daggerfall. I can only imagine. Thanks for the follow, Meowitzer. Let me add you to my list. Whee. Yeah, hi Dislisha. Yeah, we're going to look at Greek Vamp's newest creation. Oh, good. It's going to be rough with 700 items only there, Funky. Oh, wow. Looks like he's outdone himself again. I think Greek Vamp's a he. Check that out. Let me turn off my UI thing. So right away we see there's he has created a windmill. Mulo. Which, that's really cool. Although, you know, it's funny because it doesn't really necessarily take a lot to do that with, because I think what they did is they have a tower under there and they just put the round walls around it, and then they use the tarps, which are like less than, or maybe 100 gold a piece, And maybe they used this to indicate that it's broken, that the windmill isn't working. I'm not sure. But it looks cool. So if this is old Daggerfall, I'm looking forward to it. No effects, 700 out of 700 items. Holy smokes, look at this. Wow. And I never saw the original Daggerfall from the previous games, so it's hard for me to say whether or not this looks just like it, but it looks pretty cool. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put on my personality here that has the light. Personality. Okay. So doors, fake doors, making places look like there's more space to them. More houses in a city. You know, that's a good way of doing it. Doggies and kitties hanging out. And then we'll go back here and it looks like there's a treasure. This is where we find the hidden treasure. Little waterfall sneakily hid behind a mangrove. Sneakily. I don't think that's a word. So this is just like a back alley. That is called Oblivion style UI, and you can get it off of Minion. And I don't know why it sighed right there. That sounded rude. This is Greek vamp, typical, right, Delisha? Greek vamps, very good, and known for being very good. I'm not sure if there's any of these that are enterable, but it seems like the outside is pretty... You know, this tempts me to make almost old Riften instead, because, like, I know where Riften is. Or New Riften. Oh, goodness. Check that out. I hope I can get up there. Feels like we're going in the back way. Like entering the city from the back route. I'm not sure how you would get over there to that other side of the village. There's got to be a way, right? That looks like a bridge to me. I don't know about you. Or maybe it's just meant to block things off. All right. So, not sure how I'm supposed to get over there. This is the way that we came in again. It's like a circle. This is not straightforward. I kind of figured that it would have been straightforward, but maybe I just don't know the layout very well. Yeah, it is a neat build, definitely. I just don't know my way around it yet. Oh, there we go. I see the stairs up now. I was gonna say, that's a real waste if he did all of that beautiful work up front and then didn't let you get over here. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. What a great view. Really nice build. Beautiful. Lots of phony facade faces, which are always good for filling out a village. This is really neat. I wonder if any of these you can go in. Lots of backyards here. I'm surprised that they could do this with 700 out of 700 items. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, this looks like it's not really enterable, but it's beautiful. Very nice. All right. I think that's the right spelling. So we're going to go back to that pathway that we were in and take a different one. So yeah, so for my Kragenhome, I was thinking, and I have no intention of winning the Kragenhome contest. I don't think I could. There's too many builds that I've seen of Kragenhome that are too amazing to even try. But I'm definitely going to compete just for the sake of doing it, you know? I like to just do that kind of thing. And one of the ideas I have is for a little fairy village type deal. I think that might be cute. All right, so that first one was Greek Vamp. Where's the rest of the portals? Load, you portals. Load, ye portals. All right, what's over here? That one's probably back to the beginning because it doesn't have a label. Oh, sure. I think I've seen Polarity Nightshade's Sleek Creek. I may have seen a lot of these synthetic. Do I have anything from synthetic? Maybe not. Let's go here. That's fine. Polarian Nightshade. Yes, I already have Polarian Nightshade's Packed Garden Sleek Creek on mine. So, I've seen some of these people before, and so far I'm impressed with the builders in the guild. It's nice when builders have guilds together because then we can challenge ourselves and keep busy. The guild, I mean, as you know, it's felt a little dead in ESO lately. So this way, you know, it feels a little less dead when we're all around each other and try to inspire one another. But this is Coven 400 and a 400 items. I have a feeling we're not going to see any EHT in any of these. I have a feeling that this is one of the guilds that doesn't like it. Oh, thanks, Delisha. Yeah. I'll post a picture later of that event. So this must be the interior of the cabin, or is this a free built item? I bet you this is just freely built. This is neat. I have so many listed. Look at how many floors up. You can build really high in exercised. Let me add this to my list. Synthetic. You can build really high in exercised. Kind of shockingly high. But after Halloween, it ended up being that we, you know, have so many exercised that are done in unique ways. So this is lovely. I don't think it's the cottage. Oh, let me tell her. Just a guess. Yeah, I bet you the cottage is back here. But where you can't really get, or shouldn't be. There. See? That's the cottage. So yeah, the cottage is not a portion of this. Hey, Sonasis. Alright, so I'm going to drop some things off at my Kragenhome that I'm going to use, that I may use. That's usually how I start. Typically, I'll gather together the items that I think I'm most likely to use and drop them off in the house that I'm working on so that I have everything that I need right there. And I think a little fairy village might be really cute. If I can manage it. I may not be able to manage it in the amount of time we have, but we'll see. We'll see. Wow, look, check this out. It's just like, it's so daunting just to look at. All right, you can have a stick. And you can have some of these, and you can have some No, I don't want to give you these. So, actually, you know, I actually don't think that I want to use succulents and palm trees and whatnot in here. I don't think it'll work. Oh, actual bonsai. I should go put that in my bonsai garden. Neat. Okay. Fountain. I want to get the different fountain. Cathay Rod statue. Too big. I need to figure out where to put these things. For now, these can be good lights, but I don't think I'm going to use them in the final build. Butterflies. I'm definitely going to use butterflies in this build. So, you know, this may not be the simplest build in the world, because I know some people were asking for simple, how do you get started kind of builds, and I apologize, because this is probably not going to be that, but it's something. I'm so short on storage. It's not even funny. Ever since, I mean, I bought that, I bought that newest pack and I was just kicking myself instantly. As much as I love that fountain, I was thinking, man, I shouldn't have done that. Thank you for the follow, Otto Matoni. Thank you. Writing you down. See, yeah, because I have too much stuff. I need to figure out how to get rid of all of this stuff that I have and make myself some more room. So let's see, what can I use in that build? Maybe the trellises? I'm not sure. They'd have to be done right. I'm going to try to stay away from hedges. Not snowy. I don't want it to be snowy or piney. This is honestly how I go about doing this, folks. This is honestly how I figure it out. I sit here, go through my stuff, and see what would look right. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to need a lot more ivy than this, but we can have at least some to start with. And then I'm going to put some things down that I don't need. These I just bought. You know, that pack up right now for the, with the moon fountain. Moon's blessed. I'm not getting Jodes. I'm not giving them any more money. It's really annoying. They can bite me about that. Not doing it. Not doing it. I'm gonna run out of space soon. Whatevs. Yeah, you're too big, buddy. Get in there. At one point, this stuff was organized. You can see how well that's lasted. Now I just jam things wherever I can fit them. But that's okay, because I know where things are using DECOTRACK, which is an add-on. All right, that's it for now. And then I'm going to go pick up my Moon's Blessed fountain, which I had just put in Lynch's. I think this fountain will be the center point of the build. And that's really as far as I've gotten. Fairy houses, center of the build being the Moon Blessed fountain. Lots of plants. Maybe little houses. That's pretty much as far as I've gotten, you know? But I'm going to try. I still haven't figured out how to make a fairy house. I'm going to have to really think about that. I don't know if I have enough time to even do this because I think it's like December 1st or 2nd. And with the holidays, there's a lot going on. I don't know if you guys saw the release this morning of the, I hope it's just pre-sale stuff for Black Friday, but it's terrible. Like, it's crap. Last year they had houses, they had furnishings, they had all sorts of things for sale, and they were really good. And this year it's like a newbie pack with a mount in it, and it's not even that great a mount. Um, I'm pretty disappointed with it, but you know, hey, give them a chance. Maybe they'll do something that surprises us on Black Friday. Who knows? So this is the Moon's Blessed fountain that I'm talking about that you can get from that pack. It's pretty much the only reason why I got it. And I'm going to put the Elsewhere fountain back where it was, in here. Hopefully right under the, there we go, yeah. That's centered, right? So, goes back where it lives. Hey, Shiro. Shiro, okay. I think you are the person I saw in my guild this morning and asked if you were the Shiro that I see online. Oh, I know who that is. Odin Thunderlegs. Hello, SJ. Thank you for the follow. All right, so I was picking up an item so that I can work on it with, yeah, it's beautiful, and that's what I had it. I had it, this is my, lintel. This is my lintel Grand Manor. I just redid it entirely because I didn't like the, hi Nana. I didn't like the way that it looked, so I wanted something a little bit more serene and idyllic, and so I made it like this. So this is that. Excuse me for a moment. This was part of something that I don't need anymore, so I'm gonna delete that. Thank you. Yeah, that's the idea. The idea is to make it feel serene and beautiful. Agreed. And they're definitely going to go into this fairy build that I'm thinking of. I was just, you know. And so is a music box. So I'm just stealing things right and left. I know I put something else in here recently. I can't remember what it was though. Maybe it was in here. Losing my mind. Oh well, whatever. Whatevs. So, okay, so let's do another Viewdang house. Because it'll be more interesting than me collecting the crap I need for my house. I'm trying to think of what would be a good fairy house. And what would a fairy house even look like? Thank you. Would they be living in a giant flower? How would they sleep? Just curled up in the flower, I guess? I don't know. Not sure. So, still playing around with the ideas. Tiki spa? Yeah, I'm just trying to think about. This is actually how I do create. And I know a lot of people are tiki spas. Sample text. Alright, synthetic we just looked at. Serene Flump. I want to say I have this on here. I know I have something of theirs. Serene Flump. I have their Cold Harbor. So let's see what their Sigic looks like. Yay! Hammy! Hammy, thanks for the raid. I appreciate it. Hey, Kuda, all my wonderful Hammy people. I appreciate it. Yay! Well, do you know whose house it is that you're talking about, January? If you could think of it, please let me know. Hello! Thank you. We're just looking at some pretty impressive houses, and then we're gonna have me do not so impressive houses. Thank you, Garish Lee, for the follow. You see, I have like a little cat now dancing when I get a follow. This is all because of Hammy. All right, I'll see you later, Hammy. Thanks. So we are looking at some fancy high-end guilds houses. I can't guarantee you what you're going to see here because this is all unknown to me, but this is Serene Flump's house. You think it's JR? Oh, Devil Doggett? It's hard to tell. It's hard. Well, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. EHT here. So those additional items here are these stained glass items are EHT. So they look really real. I like how they look. They're one of the more realistic items in Essential Housing Tools. So is the rainbow, by the way, down there. Rainbow looks really good. I love when people build up on top of that section over there. That's really cool. And this looks like just a crafting area. And this looks like a wedding area or a musician's area. No, still crafting. So we will go inside and see what they have. I have a feeling over there would be more crafting. So I'm thinking about killing my villa build and doing something new entirely, which is I'm thinking about doing, yes, my Nutcracker build in my Sijic. So we don't know. I don't know. I feel like I've seen this before, but I don't think I have with the door, with the like table on the wall. Correct, except. All right, there's two exceptions to that. First of all, they have to have the community app installed, not just EHT proper. It's a community app that you can install directly from the EHT folder. And they have to have submitted it to the community. And right now, I think there's something like 3,000 plus over the two servers that have it all submitted. And then the third thing is, I feel like I've seen this. Yeah, I've seen this house. I apologize. So let's go back to the port. And then the other thing is, you could share it directly. As for animations, there are ways around that now that the homeowner doesn't have to be in there. There's like these action things that Cardi has installed, which I don't know yet how to use, but they do work. You know, it's essentially you could do animations through those kinds of triggers and the homeowner doesn't have to be there. So it's complicated, but the answer to your question is yes, no. I think. Sure. It's complicated. That's the answer. EHT is a constantly evolving thing. You really have to, I think reading the patch notes are great. Toronto, hello. All right, Gear Compass, I don't think I've ever heard of, so let's go to Gear Compass. And, yeah, so, but I cannot stress to you enough how nice it is to have the community. If you're the kind of person who likes visiting random houses, just the hub alone, and not everybody who uses EHT community actually has any effects, but some people do. And I mean, I just like to know, hey, this person has a house and they want me to see it. And sometimes there's just no other way to find houses like that. And I'll go, the way I used to do it is I used to go down the guild lists and just try to travel to each person's primary, which I can tell you is absolutely no fun. Did they close this whole thing off? No. Okay, here we go. This is the Hunter's Glade. This is Gear Compass, who has one slot available still for items. I don't know this person. This is just following Yudang's number of portals for all their guild members. But this is a nice little bath area. That's an interesting use of the scrying basin. I've never seen anyone use it for anything other than being a scrying basin. So that's interesting. Some more stuff in here. Oh, the torch is part of a personality. This is the treasure hunter personality. And I got it simply so that I could carry a torch. It's the only way I know of that lets you do it. And yeah, I paid actual real money for it. So, kitchen area and whatever. The house portals are also essential housing tools. Really simple to do once you get EHT. I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, it's a personality. Personality. All right, so let me show you what I mean. If you wanted to do that portal, you'd go into Essential Effects, which is part of EHT, and it would look like, it looks like the little magic wand, and then you do portals, and then you would select, if you want calibrated portal, it means you can go to anybody's, you could put anybody's name in the calibrated portal. So if I wanted to link to Snug Shrine, I could do it. But these are for your own homes. So like if you want them to be able to go to your, you know, your grotto from your hunter's glade, you could just plop that in and boom, it's done. You just click it and that's all you get. So all it takes is 2 clicks. And simple as that. And there you have a portal. This house is difficult. This house is difficult because it's so spread all over the place. And unless you are going for that look, it can be a little difficult to explore the whole thing. Personally, I like to have paths that are much more, you know, guide you and whatnot to where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to see. But I see that there's a major structure here, so let's check that out. Boop, 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 boop. What's here? All right, so this looks very rustic. Very nice rustic view. And then here, somebody's studying things. I don't often see these. This is Gear Compass. Yeah, that would, I mean, if you want, you could email Cardinal05 and in game and suggest that. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't, you know, wouldn't do that. But the problem for me is I've seen almost all of the ones in the open house. So it wouldn't really work for me, but for somebody who hasn't done a lot of it. So this is freestanding. There's nothing here. And they built this from scratch to meet their needs, which seems to be, you know, a little hideout where they can do some work and eat, have meetings maybe. It's a very nice place. So this, you know, Hunter's Glade isn't really my taste, but as far as Hunter Glades go, I mean, this is not a bad one. It's one of the better ones I've seen. I just don't, I don't know. It's just kind of too spread out for me, I think. And the sky is neat. But, hey, Morgo. Yeah, so I'm not sure if this is, what happened to your kitty arm? That looks bizarre. I don't know. It's neat. It's got a good ambiance kind of thing going on. But let's look at another one from that guild. Not bad. You have to Gear Compass. Yeah, it is expensive. Hey, Kriya. Definitely. I wanted to get it, But Crown annoys me. Crown only annoys me at this point. I don't feel like we're getting enough gold houses. I feel like, you know, the expansion of Southern Elsewhere with literally no gold houses, not one, is pissing me off. That irritates me. We should have at least gotten one. All of them are crowns that we're getting. Jode's Embrace, Moonsugar Meadows in the north, but that one, there's no free apartment. You know, it's just all crown, and it's frustrating and annoying. So, okay, so we've seen all of these. Fintelendas. I don't recognize this name, so let's go to Fintelendas's. I don't have permission. I can't go. Ashbury. I don't know this person either. Yeah, I know. I'm really annoyed with them. They really slighted the builders in this last expansion, this last DLC. I really wish that they hadn't done that to us, because it's like, you know, we already spend a ton of money. Give us a freebie, even if it's small. Truthfully, I don't understand why that small house in Central isn't gold. It should have just been gold. It pisses me off that it wasn't. So this is Ashbury, and I think this is, oh, Mornoth. At first I thought that was a Domus, but yeah, it's Mornoth. There's just some changes done to this. Yeah, agreed. We want smaller houses. We don't, you know, because it's easier to present an idea in a small house as opposed to a big house where it's harder to fill something out and carry a theme throughout the whole thing. So this is an interesting way of doing this. So to make a couch, they basically took 2 beds. Wow. They took 2 of these beds and put them at an angle to one another like this, and then sunk 2 more, I think, in to make it into a couch shape. What's the difference in gold versus others? Gold versus crown. So like, you can buy in-game with gold versus having to buy it with real money. That's the difference. And usually they've been giving us at least one non-crown house in every zone so far, but money, not gold. Yeah. So yeah, this somebody made this from scratch. This is not a standard part of Mornoth. So yeah, they usually gave us. Yeah, I know a lot of houses crown only, but I really feel like, you know. Oh, no. Gold. Yes, gold, like you can buy with gold versus buying with real money. So this is very pretty Mornoth. Yeah, agreed. Zanmir is another nice one. No? Are you sure, Garrison? Because last year I bought it with the achievement and some gold. Unless that was the... Okay, well maybe they'll do that, but I doubt it, because so many people will freaking lose their minds. You know, could you imagine if you bought it with real money and then like they add some way of getting it for... I don't know, man. I would be pissed. I would be seriously pissed. Yeah, I mean, I would love to have that house. Yeah. Okay, well maybe that's it. Maybe they'll do it that way, and that would be good because it's a small house. They really... Throw us a bone. Throw us a bone, please. Us builders. Alright. Forgive me while I quickly go to one of my other storage houses to pull out some things that I want for my fairy house I'm doing. Wow. Thank you for the follow, Chicker coffee. Yeah, I'm pissed. How did you do that? Trading gold for crowns for the snow globe house. Was that through customer service, Saucy? Shadow of Men's Wraith Home. Is this a EU house? Otherwise, we'll go look. A Wraith Home? You would think that a Wraith Home would be... Huh. You would think that a Wraith Home would be EU. It would be dark. Alright. Lots of vines. What else can I bring in there? I'll put some lily pads. Don't want ferns yet. Ferns should be kind of... Oh, NA. Then we'll go look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flowers. Oh, these should be nice. I don't want to go with a yellow color scheme. So, yes, for those of you who don't know, this is... Thank you, Aussie. You mean for the original ones? I'm not sure. I mean, it seems like they would be foolish to not. Maybe contact them directly. Just send them a message saying you want to know. Do you mean for this particular current mount? Because this particular current mount, they'll all come back. They should be back now for this mount. Oh, no, you need to contact them about that. I'm not sure that whether or not they will, but it's worth asking. Couldn't wait to ask. Okay. So let's go look at this house. What is it called? Shadow of Men Wraith Home. Oh. Okay. I mean, maybe in the next year. Right? All right, here we go. Thanks for the heads up on this. I would love to see a fairy house, but it strikes me that this house would probably be so dark. Maybe evil fairies? Okay. Oh! No, they lightened it up. They made it brighter and less depressing looking. I mean, the skulls kind of don't help, but this is quite nice. Thanks for the suggestion. 700 out of 700 items, no EHT. I still don't know my way around this house very well, so forgive me if I end up going kind of in circles. Oh, I see how they did it. Okay, they made literal little houses between trees. Okay, with mushrooms. Mushrooms make sense. You know what, I don't know if you guys ever noticed the Alfique houses that are just those little temple things, but they're almost like dog houses with the little entryway in the front. They're really cute. These are some big fairies. They need big doors that size. They are some big fairies. This is neat, though. Then again, Maleficent isn't all that small herself, is she? All right, how does one... Is this the whole thing? Did they close off the rest of the house? Because I don't recognize a way to get through unless I'm Looks to me like they might have closed off the rest of the house, but 700 out of 700 items, they can't have, this can't just be all of it. I must have taken a wrong turn somewhere. The other skull, there's a... Okay. This one. Thank you. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure this house out. I've only been to like 2 or 3 of them. So this is a darker look, for sure. And then these are the portals to the battlements. Yeah, I don't really get this house. I wanted it at first because those windows, look at those windows. Those windows are spectacular. But the problem is, it's just so dark and so purpley evil looking that I feel like all you can do is just dark stuff with it. You can't really do bright and happy. Even this fairy build, which, I mean, obviously it's a fairy build and it's quite nice. But even this is just, it's dark. What can I say? What dungeons? I'm not sure I know what dungeons it was based on. See, this is very enchanted looking. That's nice. I wonder what they named this, if they named it at all. Okay. Yeah, so check out, I mean, those windows are spectacular. Oh, good use of those orbs. Vault of Madness. It reminds me of, what was that church that just burned down? Was it Notre Dame? It was some church that recently, world famous church that burned down. And it had windows like that. I can't recall what it was. But yeah, that's what this reminds me of. But yeah, that's really pretty. It was, okay. It was not just my imagination then. Pretty. Little tree houses in here. I gotta say, you know, for a very dark and dismal, depressing house, this is definitely not dark and dismal. It's good, which is good. All right. I think we get the idea. This house is just so weird to me. Which way did I come from? I came from there. All right. So let us go to pick up other stuff real quick. Don't think. Yeah, it's hard to, I don't know. It's hard to do something like that in this kind of environment. It's like working against the house is what I always talk about. Like, there's working with the house, which is much easier. It's hard to explain. Maybe I could give you an example of what I'm talking about. An example would be, for me, working against the house would be going to erstwhile, right? And you know how dark and dismal and whatnot it is, and trying to make it this beautiful fairy garden, or just a beautiful, crazy, light flowers and light feeling of it, you know? It's really hard to do that. It's easier to say, pick your house based on pick your house based on what you need to do. But I will say this, I've seen people defeat the purpose of a house and make it much lighter, and I can show you some examples of that if you're terribly curious. But point being that you can do it. You can do it, Cinderella. It's just not easy. Window boxes, no. We don't want window boxes. We want plants. I don't know how much this is going to work. Yeah, you get the idea. You know what I'm talking about. But it's doable. You know, I've seen a lot of people do things like that. I will show you one in a minute. I just want to grab... I'm grabbing as I'm trying to go along and grab pretty flowers. Pretty flowers. Purple spade leaves. Pretty. La 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 la. Because eventually I need to build today. Because I am so far behind, it isn't even funny. I like the ones with flowers. She didn't say they were pretty, or they didn't say they were pretty princesses, just that they were princesses. Okay. Back to Udang. We'll do another, what appears to be spectacularly designed houses. I'm just abusing the heck out of Udang's guild, looking at all their homes. But I think I will start looking at Kragenhomes. Now let me give you a little bit of advice, which is going to be going against something that a friend of mine has told you. And I feel guilty about it, but I'm going to tell you the truth because you deserve it. There's a house going around, a discussion going around about how to get Kragenhome for free. And you totally can, by buying the house and then selling the coals that come with the house, if you don't want them. The coals sell for, at least last I checked, 120,000 gold or more. The house is 69,000 gold. And I know there's a standing offer for someone to send you, like, I think it was 75,000 gold if you send them all of the stuff inside the house when you purchase it. And that's ridiculous because you're getting ripped off. You're getting ripped off of the difference between 120K and, you know, the 75K or whatever it was. So I don't really care for that. And so I thought you all deserve the truth. So don't necessarily take that deal at first glance. Just think about it first. Right. That pisses me off. And I'm really surprised because I didn't expect that. And it upset me. Just so you know. So just for you guys to know this, I really think it's important for you to not get taken. And I will always tell you the truth. I will not omit anything. And I am not omitting from you. Don't take that offer. It is the coals. There are dark elf coals, which are, there's no other way to get the dark elf coals except for, they come with, I think, 2 houses. Yeah, that's right. Game Dev has it right. And they sell for a lot. They really do. And you can get Kragenhome for free. Hold on. Okay. You can basically get the house for free and then sell those coals. All right, so I'll just tell you right off the bat. I love Telgalen. I have Telgalen. My Telgalen is ugly as hell, but I think any Telgalen has to take. What do they use them for? They use them as forges a lot of times. The hot coals can look like a forge. Some people just want dark elf type items in their house. It could be used for a whole lot of things. Ovens, maybe, you know, whatever. So this is the interior of Telgalen, which I have always steeled off because I think the outside of Telgalen is absolutely stunning. But I have seen some very nice interiors of Telgalen too, so I'm not knocking it. Yeah, a barbecue. That's smart. Never seen anybody do that. Sinking that fountain into the wall. These, I think, are crown only. It's like a little sauna almost with all the smoke rising up. Yeah. You can actually do that with a lot of houses. For example, Alt Velothi has, it has a shed that you can sell. And if you sell the shed, sometimes you can make back all the money you spent on Alt Velothi, depending on whether somebody wants a shed or not. Also, I think there's a sintered well for one of the houses that if you sell, you can make back more than you spent. Crafting room. So there's a whole bunch of them that if you don't care about keeping all of the original items in the house, you can get a free house. And that's a great deal. There's nothing wrong with doing that if that's what you want to do. I think I sold mine, frankly. I think I sold my coals. I don't know when or whatever, because I don't really care about having it or not. I think I'm going in circles, so let's just go up top. Hey, Moon Kitty. We are just exploring some houses from a single guild, housing finest builders. And this looks like a trophy room. So this is nice. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop off some things at Kragenhome. And then we'll start looking at some Kragenhomes. Yes, but I covered the skin of this house. I used all of those giant elsewhere towers. And I just made a giant circle around it. So it looks like a giant elsewhere tower. Yeah, a lot of people have a problem with the exterior of the house, but I've seen people cover it with additional mushrooms that look less gross, like those landing platform mushrooms. You can cover it up with completely. See, this is where where the coals would be, is right in there, and they come standard with the base house, so you don't have to worry about that. Goodness, whole thing. This might be difficult. Or maybe it'll work just fine. Who knows? I'll figure something out. This is just for lighting for the time being. I like to build with some light. Did you fill yours? I was going to show you folks some. Maybe I can figure out what to do here. And then, you know, can throw these in there. This is not me doing anything right at the moment. This is just me throwing things down. Because that's how I start. That's how I start building houses. Yeah, mine was tree storage. But then I decided to go all... I decided to not do tree storage. I decided to enter this into the contest that J Heart's doing. It's hard for me to not do everything like completely like exactly mirrored on one side each. No, I'm gonna make this a fairy house. This is gonna be fairies. That's why we were just looking at that other fairy house that somebody had, but it's gonna be different. My fairies are gonna be different from their fairies. Mine is gonna be a little lighter, I think. But what I wanted to do with this is, you know, I showed people how to do a basic house the other day, like how to get started with a basic house. So I figured, well, I did a basic one. I might as well show you how I decorate a non-basic house that I'm trying to build. And the way that I do that is I go and I collect, this will have to get fixed because that looks terrible. I go and collect all of my items. Wow, I have a ton of these. Didn't even realize how many I had of these. Nope, I'm gonna fix that in a bit. Oh, there's only one? Whatever. There. Oh, yeah. You can go there. You can go there. I'm just throwing things in here for now. None of this is looking the way it should. It's just a basic, almost a storage house at this point. And the reason why I do that is because I want to get an idea of what I actually want to do, and I will fix this in time. But I'm just showing you because people ask me, like, how do you do this? Well, this is how I do this. This is how I get started. I just throw things in and hope that they look good. And then I'll move them around, and then I'll make them look the way they should. Or at least the way I think they should. Are you? I don't know if I deserve fascination, but I'm just throwing stuff here. This obviously can't live there. That looks stupid there. So the idea being now, I need to figure out... Oh, I'm just throwing it. That's because it's not perfect. This is not how it should look. This is just me saying, I'm going to toss things in here whimsically. And then when I figured out how I'm going to do my housing for my, I've seen a lot of this where people cover the ceilings with these plants, and I think that'll work pretty well. Thank you. I'm just tossing it here though. Idea being, I want to figure out how I'm going to do my fairy houses, and just tossing things in here will give me a picture of what I'm going to be dealing with. And sometimes that's what I need, is just an image in my head of, well, what is it going to look like when it's done? You know, how am I going to make this look right? Maybe I'll throw some of those up there eventually. See, it's not right. It's just random. I'll have a couple of these here and there. Maybe one right there. Maybe one right over here by the door. Oh, honey, this is not the end game. This is just me throwing stuff for a purpose. I'm just playing with this. This is just me, yeah, filling things out for the moment so that I get an idea. Like, for example, this floor should not have things growing out of it. It doesn't look right to have things growing out of it. So how am I going to deal with the floor? Suddenly I have an additional insight into what problems am I going to face when I'm trying to build this. Why is it more said? Just throw things wherever. One of the things that I have learned from, I think it was Swankery, is that in Clockwork, there are piles of, was it Clockwork she was talking? I think it was Clockwork. That if you flip them over, that they look actually like dirt. No, what's sad is I am out of coffee. That is what's sad. Sadness. If you flip over the junk piles, you can make it look like dirt. Yeah, I know, it's fine. My husband brings me the high test stuff when he comes home for lunch because it's snowing and I am not going out in this. Okay, so here we go. Woo! Why did you close out? What did you do? There you go. Okay. So let's go over here and buy some of this hopeful dirt. The junk piles. Oh yeah, I can see it. I can see it. All right. Worst case scenario, I am out, you know, a little bit of money. Who cares? Well, I'm going to have to add trees. Speaking of, where did I stick all my trees? Stay moist. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's gold crown. That's crown also. The weather, not the person. Well, that's why typically what I like to do about that is either put a very large pot at the bottom, or I'll take those limestone, you know, the curved limestone from Somerset, and I'll put like maybe 4 of them around the tree so it looks a little more realistic. Where did all the trees go? Fairly sure all the trees should be in here. And they're not. Let me show you a nifty tool. If you have essential housing tools, in the hub, you can go to furniture if you downloaded DECOTRACK. And here, I want to know where my ginkgo trees are. Come on. Oh, am I spelling it wrong? I must be spelling ginkgo tree wrong. Ah, here we go. Ginkgo. I did spell it wrong. Ginkgo. So I have them here. Humble mud. Humble mud is where I'm storing them. Okay, I knew it was one of these mud things. So that way, you know, I can stick things in any house and it doesn't really matter if I don't have them sorted properly. I can just pull up DECOTRACK and go, okay, which house do I have this in? And that way I can just go and grab them and it'll work. Yeah, you're welcome. Because my storage houses used to be manageable. I used to have one for trees, one for rocks. Literally, I had one for rocks. But then eventually it got to be too much. Yeah, so this is now my tree storage house. It's actually quite the pretty forest, isn't it? Alright, let's see which trees I want. I want the floral trees. I do not want the regular trees. We'll think about saplings in a bit, but for sure I know. This is good. Take you. Take you. Take you. Maybe you. ginkgos. There be my extra ginkgos. Okay, so now we have a bunch of trees. And we'll go back. But there's definitely going to be some changes that have to be made. Like, I have to make decisions. Am I going to make it so that you can walk by the fountain? Because the fountain takes up the whole thing. Or are you just walking in, you get a view and nothing else? And I'm leaning towards the second. Because, I mean, I don't really care if you walk around. So I would have to put the little fairy trees, the fairy stuff right in the beginning. So, yeah. Let me just stick some trees down. So first I want to start with my lovely blooming trees because I want that effect. Plus it covers the wall a bit. But see what I mean? I'm talking about how it blocks everything. It's not really... What I really need to do is just start over, and I probably will. I don't want to just toss something together. But for the moment, I like that I'm covering portions of things that I don't want showing. There. I think that works. Okay, and then here's my non-combat fairies. Orchid Nixad. So this one's going to have to be right near one of the houses that I build for her. And same for the Sylvan one. I may just throw in the butterfly just for the sake of it's pretty. That's typically what I do. Now, I really like these, and I really feel like these should take sort of center stage here a little bit. I think they're really pretty, but we'll see. Okay, so now let's do with the dirt that we just got. So this was the clockwork junk heap. Flip it over, and you've got dirt. No longer do I have a floor that looks like nothing could be growing in it. See? Now, I'll show you another trick. See this? Okay. See the red when I try to put this down? That's because nothing is allowed by the door. See the error? You cannot place furnishing by the entrance. Well, let me tell you something. Bull. Yes, you can. There's a trick. So put that down, and then you go to EHT, because of course EHT solves everything. And we're going to do select single item. Hit the select button, if I wasn't an idiot. Come on. Why are you being stupid? Am I not in F5? Okay. Huh. Something's wrong with my select button. Let me just put this here. I wonder if my select button got mixed up. Controls. Essential housing tools. There are, see, one thing I will complain about essential housing tools is there's multiple different essential housing tools modules that you need to look for to figure out whether or not you have, see, it's annoying. Hold on. Essential housing tools, here we go again. Another section. Essential housing tools again. You see what I mean? Okay, I'm a moron. I was using the wrong key. There we go. Selected item. Okay, so the thing about EHT is once you've selected that, you can use either the buttons. Oops, I'm standing the wrong way. To get it right in front of the door. And then it won't give you the error. I realize this is boring as hell, but this is how you do it. Okay, I'm gonna go right up to the door. There we go. Boom. See? Now you have dirt by the door, which the game won't let you do, but you totally can do with essential housing tools. So there you go. That you just learned something. How to sneak something by the door when the game won't let you. And now this looks to me like dirt, and I like that. I think it works. Now, I don't like the lights in here. I'm going to have to remove these elsewhere lights and figure out what to do with lighting. Actually, it doesn't need it. I just removed them and it still looks pretty good. Huh. All right, so the walls are a problem. What am I going to do about these walls? Yes, that's a big problem. Not being able to put carpets by the door pissed me off so much. I'll show you my hammer death real quick. That's what hammer death doesn't let you put items by the door. And so your carpet is stuck like a couple of feet out from the door because it's such a small property. So I don't like that, and I just use essential housing tools, and I override it. And to hell with them. I'm gonna do it my way. And I'm gonna get my carpet by the door. And it does absolutely nothing to cause a problem when I pour it in, or for anybody. So here's the, look at that. That carpet all the way up to the door. Also, we know. Cracks me up. Yeah, so this is my Thanksgiving / Christmas house. So that's exactly how I did this carpeting. And do not feel intimidated to the point where you can't do it. You should do it. And ignore them. Otherwise, you're like a couple of feet out. All right. So we did a bunch of mine, so let's go look at another one. Of non-mine. Yeah. Oh, actually, no. I wanted to show you Kragenhomes. So we can get ideas for the Kragenhome contest coming up. And I looked at a bunch of them yesterday for you guys because I wanted to have this available for you. One singular sensation. All right, and I gotta forewarn you, please don't be intimidated, because some of these are really good and may make you feel like you shouldn't perhaps enter, and I don't think that that's the case. Like, just understand that people are at different ability levels, and you may still produce something amazing, and you won't get the credit. I mean, you won't get the education, you won't get the ability to grow if you don't try. And just, you know, don't make it about winning and you'll be fine. Oh, I make them. I have kept lists of houses to visit for a long time. I wrote down I've seen like over 5,000 houses, and I save ones that I like for whatever reason. I'll list and I'll put notes to myself as to which ones are good ones. So I can go back and, let's say I want to work on a Kragenhome. I want to get some inspiration. So I'll pull up the Kragenhomes that I've seen that I liked, and I'll go back. Sometimes I have screenshots of them instead, but if there's too much to screenshot, like the whole build is incredible, I'll list it. But this one is Stone's Edge, and Stone's Edge is the one that actually was the picture in the contest advertisement that J Hard has up. And this is the best Kragenhome I've ever seen, so please do not be any sort of don't be intimidated, please. So what Stone's Edge did is Stone's Edge reskinned the house. So they basically reskinned the house into something much more pretty. Oh, I never noticed that. All the times I've been through here and I never noticed it. That's so cute. All right, so they have beautiful waterfalls and Alinori stuff going on, and more waterfalls, and just pretty little nooks here, see? And then go back here, and you have like curved Alinori walls. They built their own oven here. They have these two hooking up in the corner and made it a nice little place to sit. So this is an example of a Kragenhome that has been completely redone, and the walls are granite, reskin. So you almost can't tell it's Kragenhome when you first walk in. So there you go. That's the first one I'm going to show you. Yeah, it is unrecognizable. The next one I want to show you is Polaria Nightshade's Kragenhome. Which I found. I wrote down that it's very pretty. So I don't think it's an entire redo, but it's pretty. And that's the idea is there's going to be a whole range of different types of Kragenhomes. I'm sure some will be transformed, others won't. Some people will do traditional ones. Some people will be weird like me. But here, this is also Kragenhome, if you could believe it. And this has EHT involved. So you have this, this would be where the coals would be when you buy the house, and you just pop them out and sell them if you want. And yeah, it's lovely. I saw this before a lot of the effects, but I love the couches. Couches are great. Those are just benches put at an angle with one another to make them into couches. And I like the stars, oceans of stars going by the window. Let me put away my, I don't need my personality up anymore. And then this would be a kitchen. And in case you're curious, the way to do this is flip one of those Merkmeyer candles upside down, and that's how you make dough. Make it look like dough. This is the Vardenfell map flipped upside down to make this a nice like kitchen linoleum look. Then this is just it's a cobble but it's also got a little bit of EHT going on with the water. Yeah, Homes in the Stars. Yeah, I have one of them that has that effect going on. That's my astronomy one. And then they built a little bathroom, and you know me in bathrooms; those are my favorite. So, and they built it as a little freestanding area over here, someplace for a musician to stand. What are they showing off in here? Oh, braziers. If you put a brazier and sink it, or candles, and sink them into the ground, or a pillow in this case, they can look like crowns. So in this case, I think that is the bottom of a Khajiit candle sunken down to make it look like that's a crown that you can show off. So, and then we come up here, and these are Daedric platforms put together to make it a wall to give this a second section. Well, unless you're using EHT, you can... I don't know that's the Elsewhere incense. I don't think so. I think that's the bottom of the... because I have an Elsewhere incense. I think that's different. I think that's the bottom of the Khajiit thing. Let's open... No! I can't select the turtle. You suck. And then over here, it looks like they buried different plates and different items to make it look like jewelry. Like, I think this is the key blank, and then this is a plate, this is a cup. But now it looks like, you know, you've got jewelry. And some different things you make up, maybe perfume. Here you go, more makeup. That's a new way of doing it. I haven't seen that one before. Putting the apples, I think, in the ivory to make it look like it's a compact. Lots of little details. Just nice little detail work always helps elevate a build. No, I know. This is actually the bottom of a Khajiit candle. Trust me. There's one that is called Claude, I think, and that's the one that I think it is. So like I said, this can be pretty intimidating, but I'm just trying to give you ideas, not intimidate you. Unfortunately, I don't know that'll work, but here's Arion 26's Kragenhome, and that'll be it for Kragenhomes for right now. Clawed, like with claws. Okay. Now, Arion tends to redo things from the ground up. You're right. But it does actually fit those little braided breads. Just not a whole loaf. But they have braided breads you could use. Alright. Yeah, and you would have to, like, put a bunch of them in there to fit. But I don't think that's what they were thinking when they made it. I just think that it's just crazy. So another way of dealing with... there's another way of dealing with Kragenhome, which is lots of carpets. And, see, Ariane doesn't use EHT, so as you can see, she can't get the carpet any closer to the door. See that? So it looks weird. And that's why I'm like, you know, let EHT help you out with putting things right up to the door. And so you've got a little kitchen over here. Some reskinning going on. Just a lovely little spread. This is very pretty. Ariane is extremely talented. But if, you know, pay attention to the color, too. She carried the color through. It's sort of like a scarlet through a pink. So almost everything has touches of pink or scarlet in them. And I think it adds to making it pop, you know. When you come in, you're like, oh, wow, This is gives you a little bit more of a nice first impression when colors are all similar. And then she made a nice little bed up here, bedroom area. So this is lovely, and it doesn't actually stray too far from it actually being a Kragen home, you know, not just a weird fairy house type deal that I did. Yeah, because the colors are right, right? It matches. So there you go. What was else I was going to show you? I'm tired. I've been so tired lately. Well, you know, they probably asked for it. Because that's how they roll. Here is another small house. Strychnin's Cyrodiilic. This may give us an idea for another thing we can do with a Kragenhome. And, you know, remember that it doesn't have to look like this. It doesn't have to be on this level. Plus, you may not like houses that look like houses. You may not like gardeny things. What if you want to make yours really dark and use a lot of Daedric rock and make it evil? You could do that too. Just go, it doesn't have to be a certain kind of theme. It doesn't have to be holiday. It doesn't have to be anything but, you know, whatever you feel like you want to do. The idea being, I was just trying to show you that the way I start is by gathering everything together that I think I might use, then throwing it down in general sense of where everything is going to be, then see the problems. The problems at first were, what am I going to do about this floor that you can see right through? And in that case, I added dirt. The next thing was, you can see the walls. Well, what I'm going to do is add ivy to cover the walls. And then, you know, probably also a waterfall because I like waterfalls and everything. So this is Strychnin, 197 items out of 200 and no effects. So there's pretty little areas over here. Deadly little animals over here, or plants rather. And just a really pretty spot. I really liked this garden, and that's what I wrote down. It was a lovely garden. Thank you for the follow, Shuas. You're in one of my guilds. So this could really help in the contest. Here is another interior. This is a small. Oh, I like that they did this. These red plants always look a little better with a little bit of green with them to set off the red. And I think they used one of those sunny vines. I forget what they're called exactly. I'm always a fan of putting ivy everywhere. And so this is a very simple interior. The exterior is really where it's at. But I would recommend buying this home if you don't have it, because it's really cheap. It's got a nice garden, and it's right outside of Bendari. And Bendari is a great shopping center. And a lot of times there's nobody in Malabator, and it's a good way to port to Malabator. So let me see about other small places I wanted to show you. Let's look at Catrion. No, I think I've seen that. Trying to find stuff that might help us come up with ideas for it, for this contest. Magic. Serenity's big. Snug Pod. I don't know. I'm getting to the point where it's like, I don't know how to show you guys additional ways of doing interiors. It's going to be have to be at some point something that you guys, if you have ideas, you can ask me about it and I can give you suggestions on what you can do to create your vision. But at its base, unless you're going to make just a basic house, you should at least have some sort of idea of what you want to do. And the way that I do that is sometimes I'll just go through my screenshots. I'll visit other people's houses. The fairy house idea came from, I think it came from Dan Elder 6. I went to their rabbits house. They had a house for rabbits. And I thought, what's a house of something cool that I've never seen before? And my answer was fairies. So sometimes the way that you get inspiration is very simply from looking at somebody else's idea and then taking a riff on it. And then you don't have to start from nothing. You at least have something that points you in the right direction. So let's see if there's any more that I haven't seen. All right, I think we did all of those. They told me there's another one in another section that has more. But yeah, definitely do. I want to talk about real quick. I want to talk about what's going on with Black Friday. If you see there is a Black Friday stuff going on that is, they listed some things and they weren't exactly that great. Well, I think what's going on with that is that these are pre-Black Friday sale stuff. I have a strong suspicion that what they're going to do is release more stuff on actual Black Friday. And I expect that there will be some houses in that. Lyric Siren Ravenhurst. I've never heard of this person, so I doubt I've seen it. So I would not necessarily panic that they're not going to give us anything good for Black Friday. I have a feeling that the best way to deal with it is to wait until Black Friday itself and then see what they've done. And if they screw it up bad enough, I mean, people will raise hell on the forums and then maybe they'll revisit the issue. But no, totally what they have for sale right now as Black Friday is kind of a slap in the face given how poor their performance has been. Last year they had, you know, houses, they had other things. So I have a feeling that, what is this? This is odd. Oh, it's a pathway. Why do I get a feeling this is a scary house? Yeah, this is a scary house. This is probably another Halloween house. Creepy. Oh, it's eating him. I've never seen anyone actually do it like that. That's funny. So, scary house. There was something linked in my guild news that I'm replying because no crowns on the sale at this time. Wow. Well, I mean, those are two different statements. No crowns on sale this time, fine. Everything that will be on sale has now been in. Man, their management is getting so cheap. If that's what if that's what's really going on, and there really isn't anything else, that's miserable. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised about a lack of a crown sale. I'm all right with that. But the fact that they won't put any, compared to last year where they put a ton of stuff up for it, that's a little ridiculous. I don't know why that's happening. I don't know why that they've suddenly, in the last year where everything is going terrible and people are so dissatisfied, that they would just put up stuff that isn't very good as a sale. I don't get it. I don't get the logic behind that. That's really stupid. What a bummer. I don't get it. Okay. Let's check out another one. If it's another Halloween house, I might scratch this because I don't know that I want to see any more Halloween houses. Well, I'm glad you got Fizzez, but this is ridiculous, honestly, the way that they've been. Kimmy My Autumnsgate. I don't know Kimmy My. I don't have permission. Okay. Kiltmaster. Don't know them. Yeah, I mean, well, I was looking forward to possibly splurging and getting myself a house. Huh. Well, I hope people on the forums are raising hell. I'm sure they are because they're such angry bears. I'm an angry bear on the forums sometimes too, but mostly about performance and the throttling of data for sellers. I'll tell you, they're making it so that when the next game comes out that I want to play, I'm out. So this is Kiltmaster, 421 out of 700 items, no effects. And it is yet another Halloween house. So I think this will be it for the ones that I'm going to look at because I am a little Halloweened out. I don't know about you. But yeah, I'm a little over it. Yeah, I mean, the selling of houses too would have been smart. Let us go to a Thanksgiving one. So we get ideas for that contest. And then after I'm done with the Thanksgiving ones, I'll call it because I'm tired. Yeah, they made a ton of money last year on it. I don't really get it. Excuse me. This is... It's just like, sometimes I feel like we have a good parent and then other times we have a bad parent, you know? It's almost like somebody is taking over who's trying to squeeze out every last bit of profit to the point that they're actually making people angry and hurting their actual sales rather than helping them. Maybe some short-term gains, but not long-term gains, you know what I mean? So I think this is, I don't know if I showed you this yesterday, I don't think so. But this is Polaria Nightshade. And I believe this is their Thanksgiving dinner for the contest coming up. And I thought that these were some really clever cobbles. That, I believe, is ivory. Words are hard. Ivory and apples. Looks like tarts. Lots of cheese with radishes on top. Looks like a cheesecake. Bread with plates and berries. Looks like it's a 3-tier cake. I don't know. And then this, these leather things are supposed to be, I think, like brownies or something. And then more on cookies or something on top of the little pipes, the dwarven pipes. So this is somebody who cobbled a whole bunch of lovely Thanksgiving desserts. And this may be their entry. I don't know. But you may get some ideas out of it. Just a thought. You know, it just occurred to me that all of the statues are sitting there like it's a tea party. I can't believe I didn't even notice that before, that the statues are all partaking. So that's cute. If Xanasis is here, I was going to show off their Thanksgiving, what I think is their Thanksgiving house. I could be wrong. Moonmirth. I don't know. It won't make me keep coming back because the next minute that Dragon Age Inquisition's sequel comes out, I'm out. Because they burned me. Xanis, did you not want me to show this one off? Because it was an open house, so I didn't think you mind. I won't show it if you don't want me to. I can hold off. Oh, this is so lovely, though. I'll wait until you answer me, because it's such a pretty one. If it was an open house, I wouldn't have done that to you. I'm annoying that way. And I think this is my last Thanksgiving house of the day. So I like this oven anyway. Okay, thanks, Genesis. I like how, you know, this is a cobbled oven. It's very neat. Oh, hey folks, this is just what we talked about, those coals. Here you go. Another usage for them. The kitties all have their own Thanksgiving sitting by there. And then all sorts of different kinds of breads and cheese and yummy stuff over here. Comedy. Okay, I love using the fish dish bowl. This is the fish dish. But I like doing what they did here and just putting other things over it. Like, you know, there are still fish in there, but I guess with veggies. And then we have this lovely spread. So this Thanksgiving Day spread. It really is starting to make me feel hungry, I'll tell you that. And I think what's clever is that they're modified. So like these looks like the root vegetable bowls from elsewhere, but then they put chicken legs or turkey legs over it. So it actually looks like you're eating a Thanksgiving Day dinner, not just root vegetables. You see it? My thing, depends on what you mean. And I believe this was the cornucopia that Xanis entered, and it's lovely. Look at that. It's a cornucopia shape from the wheat. And then if you look on the interior, it's all flowers and fruit and delicious stuff. I saw this house yesterday, and I was so impressed because... And I really shouldn't be surprised because there are certain builders who have my aesthetic. And Xanis is one of them. Just really gets where my mind comes from. I'll show you real quick. I'll go back to where I was and I will show you my ideas, which I will not be offended if you use for Thanksgiving. Although they are not as fancy as what some people have come up with, you are welcome to them. And I hope you do enter because it's going to be announced on the 27th. So you wait, that's today. Oops. I don't know what time. What time is he streaming? Oopsie daisy. I thought that was today. I guess that's today. I was going to say you had plenty of time, but you may not. He's on now? Is he doing them now? Let me dump into him. My bad. My bad. I don't like to compete with him. I don't like him having that problem with me. So I am going to send you all over to him. Crap, I must have missed a bunch. So sorry. And I'm gonna rate it. So I will talk to y'all later. Thanks. Go.
Putting them in a basket next to other food and it makes it look like that. Oh my gosh, Stephanie, do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Stephanie, yeah, everything about housing. And welcome. We are touring Thanksgiving feasts in ESO. We have a whole bunch of them. We had a contest for this, and we are touring sorries, dinner with monsters will ruin the food deserves. It's the right front line. This will be our last home on PCEU, and I'm swapping over to PCNA, and then we have the Cookie Monster having his own feast, so this is just like a typical yeah, we have all sorts of fun things. We have cookies, and killer cake, and gingerbread man, cute little thing using the radishes, and cookies. Again, it's just using these in a way, in a basket, makes them look like cookies. If they were in any other sort of context, they wouldn't look like